Let's do another practice problem using the Hardy-Weinberg equation. Remember all of our variables, as well as our two equations. Red hair is recessive. 12% of Ireland has red hair. So what we have to do is calculate for all of the variables. We already know one of the variables, q squared. This is because it already tells us that 12% of Ireland has red hair, and the red hair phenotype is recessive, which means if you have red hair, you are a, which is the q squared. So again, we already know what q squared is. It's 12% or 0.12. Now we want to figure out what q is. So we take the square root of both sides, which tells us q is 0.35. This tells us in the Irish population, q, or the recessive allele, is 35% or 0.35. Now we want to figure out what p is, or the allele frequency for the dominant allele. We're going to use this equation, p plus q equals 1. We already know what q is, so p is going to equal 1 minus q. So p is going to equal 1 minus 0.35. And that means p is going to equal 0.65. So now we know what p and q are, we can figure out what p squared is. To figure out what p squared is, you're going to take the square of 0.65, which is 0.42. Now that we know p squared and q squared, we can figure out what 2pq is by using this equation. We're going to plug in the variables, move the variables around, and you can figure out that 2pq is going to equal 0.46. So here are all the variables calculated out. Check your work and see how you did.